Hi, Chris Orr of the Orminators. It's been a while since I've done a travel piece, especially bag recommendation. I think the last one I did was my Victorinox suitcase, and I wanted to do another review, another Victorinox item. I mean, this is not sponsored by Victorinox in any way, but this is a bag that I have. I picked up in Japan at the same time as I picked up the suitcase, and as a replacement for another, Victorinox, or I think it was a Victorinox backpack. Now this particular backpack is actually pretty nice. It doesn't look as schoolboy or school bag as my previous Victorinox bag, so I like it. It's a little bit more compact and has a lot more pockets, so it's pretty interesting to use. Now this particular piece is pretty a decent size, nice and lightweight. It's pretty cool. Like I said, there's a lot of different pockets on there. It's got that ballistic nylon to it. There's a lot of pockets to use, and I'll do a B-roll, or I'll do another little piece there where I show you all the different pieces on the inside. But essentially, as bags go, it's actually very nice, and it's very comfortable to carry when you're traveling through an airport or anything like that. It fits very nicely under a seat as well as in the overhead bins. I've been flying a lot of the Embraer 175s out of my local airport instead of the 737s, and especially when you hashtag first world problems, when you get bumped up into first class, there's a side of the plane where the overhead is actually, the overhead bin is actually not very big. And so this actually fits in there quite nicely, or it does into your standard overhead bin without taking up too much room. It gives people plenty of space to get their stuff on if you don't want to necessarily put this under your seat. A couple of things about it. Obviously, I'll show you all the different pockets, but kind of one of the cool things here is this ability to actually kind of open all the way down like so, which gives you access to the full inside pocket there. It can hold actually quite a bit. I've actually used this as an overnight bag on occasion, where I can put a pair of pants and underwear, socks, and a shirt in there quite nicely, along with my DOP kit, my travel kit with my toothpaste and toothbrush and everything else. No problem, and still have room for everything else that I need. It's got a number of other little pockets here where you can put stuff. You can obviously got your pen slots there, a couple of small little pockets there to be able to put things in. There's a mesh pocket here on the side. I keep a mouse in there. A couple of mesh pockets there as well. It's got these little side pockets here on the front. So normally, when you look at a lot of school bags, there'll be a pocket with a bunch of smaller items where you can put a bunch of smaller items. In this case, there's little side pockets on each side, and they're different. They're actually separate pockets. This is not just a sleeve. I can't even get my hand through the whole thing. They're actually two separate pockets where you can put small documents and things like that. It actually comes with a little bottle opener and a little screwdriver here, the kind that you would actually find on a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. It's actually the same attachment. They just embedded it in this little piece of plastic here, so that you would have access to a bottle opener and a little screwdriver or a little pry bar, however you wanted to do it here, which is kind of cool. And all of that is actually separate from the laptop sleeve here in the back. And so you can see, I slip a full-size MacBook Pro in there, and it's got a little thing to keep it from sliding around. I also put there's another little pocket here where I can put my iPad, and again, there's plenty of room here for documents and things of that nature, which is actually pretty cool. One of the things that also came with here, I'll go ahead and set this down, is this little roll here. All right, and it's got a couple of straps here, and you can actually either attach it to the inside of the bag, and you can see the snaps here, where if you just attach it like so, it'll be down inside, and you can store all of your cables. And you can see I've got a cable in there to kind of show you what that might look like. Or you can roll it up. So if you roll it up, it actually kind of fits real nice. You put the little snaps there, and it takes up a little bit less space and there's less likely for things to fall out while the bag is getting jostled around, maybe on an airplane or a train or whatever it is that you're carrying the bag with. But it's actually pretty cool to be able to store all of your cables. A little cable organizer that came with it. So I thought that was a nice little feature here. Now, while I do like the bag and the size of it and how easy it is to load up here, and you can see what it might look like on your back. There you go. I've got the straps pulled in pretty tight there. I've got the straps pulled in pretty tight. These buckles actually attach really, they adjust really nicely, and they pull nice and tight there very easily. And that way you can kind of find your comfort point where it is, and it sits really nicely on the back. You don't feel like you're carrying a lot of weight even when you got it fully loaded with the laptop and power supplies and all of that stuff there. So that's a nice feel, and it's got a nice fabric here, kind of absorb any sweat that you might have, and it's got one of those sleeves that allows you to slide it over the handle of your rolling luggage. That way it's not going to fall down while you're wheeling your luggage in your backpack through the airport. Now, while I do really like this bag and enjoy it, there is a couple of minor drawbacks to the bag, which I think you should be aware of. Number one, interestingly enough, even though it's got these little side pockets here, which theoretically I guess are for things like maybe a small umbrella or other sort of maybe piece of equipment or a tripod like the one that's holding up my camera right now quite nicely. What I thought it could have used, at least on one side, is the ability to store nicely a water bottle. So, and close it up. I mean, I can theoretically carry this bottle like this, but I feel like if I'm moving rapidly through an airport, it just feels like it's going to fall out. It just doesn't feel very secure, and I can't zip it up all the way while this particular bottle is in there. And this is a kind of a standard size hydro flask, thermo flask sort of bottle. So if you have a thinner bottle, I guess it would probably work okay. But you know, a standard hydro flask definitely won't fit. A large one, anyways. And then even the smaller one like this one, just doesn't seem to fit well. I mean, a regular water bottle fits in there nicely, and you can see you can zip it up there and whatever. But I would have liked this to have an actual bottle holder, so that you can get access to your water relatively easy. I mean, otherwise, you can of course put it in the bag. I mean, it fits nicely in there. In fact, it'll even fit nicely into one of those little side mesh pockets that I have there. But then you actually have to take the bag off of your back and unzip it and maybe move some stuff around in order to get to the water bottle, which, you know, if you want to stay hydrated, to me it kind of defeats the purpose. I would be less likely to get access to that water bottle in order to stay hydrated in that case. I guess if I was thirsty enough, of course I will do it. But if I'm in a hurry and I'm running through an airport, number one, I don't want this falling out. So I have to keep it in the bag, and otherwise a regular water bottle would fit in there. But I don't like using plastic water bottles, of course. You know, there's a whole sustainability thing that you have to be concerned about. Why do I have this one? Well, this is one that I got from the airline, and I happen to have it, and I wanted to keep it so that I can show you the difference between storing a smaller water bottle versus kind of the hydro flask that you might carry for a much more sustainable basis. Whoa, kind of got the words mixed up there a little bit. So, in any case, the bag itself has a pretty decent number of, again, mesh pockets where you can store stuff and keep things secure. That way you can very easily, you know, keep things. So then the brain portion of it here, you know, the top pouch of the bag, you can store your quick and easy, the items that you want to get to quickly, whether it's passports, you know, driver's license, any sort of documentation, your headphones, your sunglasses, of course, can go up there, and then every other pocket that's in here is obviously on the inside, where you want to be able to store stuff and not have to worry about it falling out or getting lost or anything of that nature. So here's the bag. I have it actually all loaded up now for travel here, and you can kind of see what I've done. I'm going to go ahead and open up this the brain, the kind of the main pocket here, and you can kind of see what I've done in the main pocket here. And I'm not sure the lighting is that awesome, but I have my my headset, my noise canceling headset. Don't mind my ugly ass feet there. I've got the water bottle that I was referencing. I have the cable organizer tucked in the little side pocket there. Some highlighters so that when I'm doing presentations, I've got my mouse there. I have my notebooks and some cough lozenges, some throat lozenges there. So when I'm doing presentations, I'm not sitting there hacking up along or anything like that. So everything fits in there super nice. In the laptop pocket here, you can see I have my my full-size laptop here, my MacBook Pro. I have my iPad, so that tucks in there again real nice, nice and safe. And then in the top pocket here, open that up, and you can see again some more throat lozenges. I'm a fan for not hacking in people's ears and when I'm doing presentations, especially if I'm on a speakerphone or anything like that where they can't protect themselves because they can't see it coming. And I have my my travel utensils. This is really cool. I got this on Amazon. A bunch of bamboo utensils, a straw, some chopsticks, a fork, knife and spoon. Obviously these are all bamboo, so they get through security no problem there, and I don't have to use any plastics when I'm on the road. Again, this is probably my daughter's doing here, where she wants to be much more sustainable. I want to set a good example for the future. So yeah, I went ahead and got a bunch of these and gave the kids each a set of those. I actually have a couple myself in different places, so that I always have a set around or set handy when I'm doing that, when I'm traveling. In fact, in my everyday carry bag by Galatech, which I'll be doing a different review on, you'll see a different, a similar sort of setup here, but different color canvas and everything else. And so yeah, no matter what bag I pick up, I'm always going to have the ability to be much more sustainable when I'm out there. Instead of using a lot of one-use or throwaway items, I try to use these so that in my own little, very microscopic, minuscule way, doing my part for the planet. So, yep, that's what the inside looks like. That's my review of the bag. I've actually been using this for the better part of 10 months now, and I can tell you that other than to me, the water bottle issue, that's really my only true complaint about the bag. Occasionally I feel like the straps here to adjust might be a little bit too loose, not enough friction. I feel like sometimes when I'm putting on especially a heavier load, the straps are likely to come undone and maybe the bag slide down my back a little bit further than I want. Of course, it's super easy to be able to just pull those straps again to tighten it back up, but they seem a little bit, the friction on the buckles doesn't seem as tight as they possibly could be. It also would have been nice to have maybe some attachment points along the outside of the bag, especially on the shoulder straps, so that I can attach other things to it, maybe even the water bottle if I wanted to keep it on the outside and maybe a little bit closer to me. I've seen other travelers do that as well. But otherwise, there's not a lot of, it's a very minimalist sort of look, obviously, as you can see here, very black. I think they've got gray as well, some pleather trim, I'm guessing here, and yeah, it handles very well. It travels well. It attaches to my other luggage very, very nicely. It stores pretty much everything that I need. I've lived out of this bag, literally only this bag for at least 2 days without actually having to carry an additional piece of luggage with me. The clothes that I wear on the first day, and then I have the clothes for the second day, and I've got the one night worth of stuff that I take with me in order to do a 2-day trip, if you will. So it works out pretty nicely. It's quite sizable in that way. And yeah, if you do pick up a bag like this, I think it was right around $170 in well, U.S. and Japan. I can't remember what the yen was. I think it was like that would be a few 100,000 yen there. But yeah, so between 150, 175 bucks, I guess, depending on where you get it. You can probably find it very easily on Amazon. Otherwise, obviously, the Victorinox store, you'll see the bag up there, and yeah, it stores a full-size laptop quite nicely. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, and I'm going to be hitting the road. I'll be giving you a few more travel blogs here. Maybe head down to Disneyland and do another look at Galaxy's Edge now that it's been open for a little while. Going down there with my kids, and I made a droid bit, so maybe we'll do a lightsaber on the next one. And on this little trip down here, maybe we'll do a video of the Millennium Falcon ride. We're going to Disneyland this time, so I won't be able to do a video of Rise of the Resistance. There's plenty of them out there being made right now, but they're all coming out of the Rise of the Resistance in Disney World in Florida. So the Rise of the Resistance in Disneyland in Anaheim is not expected to open up until January. So kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. We'll get there eventually, and we'll do that sort of walkthrough or impression or reaction video as well. But yeah, so Victorinox backpack, quite nice, very spacious, carries a lot of stuff, convenient, well sized for what it's designed to do, and very well constructed. I would give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I hope you like it.